Update: am I the butthole for not wanting to sign away my rights? It's been a while since I posted this and a lot has happened since then. Original post, and by a lot I mean I finally became a dad. My son is healthy and beautiful, most beautiful baby I've ever seen. One of the best things to ever happen to me, honestly, despite the drama. Thank you everyone who was helpful and encouraging in this situation. It felt good to know even with what everyone else was saying, I had a right to say no to my ex's demands and I'm not the one at fault for what happened. Several of you had suggested I talk to her about switching it around so that I could ask about getting full custody instead of being cut out if her husband had such a problem with me being around. Was a great idea and I feel pretty stupid for not thinking about it myself. So here's what happened. I decided to try again and contact her husband because throughout this whole time he was refusing to speak to me. But I just wanted to see if I could get through to him as a last resort. He agreed for us to talk and I was shocked to find out he'd actually changed his mind about accepting the baby 2 months ago, before I made the post. Originally, he did have that condition that he'd only take her back and adopt my son if I wasn't in the picture, but decided he didn't want to raise another man's baby. So she lied to me about him still having this condition and this was just her attempt to try to fix everything even though he was planning on going through with the divorce. He was pretty mad about what she was doing too, so he was kind of on my side about it. Did get a lawyer involved and had another talk with her as well after he spoke to her pretty much saying he'd never take her back no matter what she did at this point. That got her to see trying to keep me out wasn't going to do anything. I brought up the full custody thing to see if that was something she wanted and she agreed. To her there was no point in having my son full-time with this whole divorce going on and she doesn't even have her own place. He moved back into their house with kids and she ended up leaving. Going through with my attorney, I was able to establish paternity after my son was born so that I'd be legally recognized as his father instead of her STBX. As of right now, he's with me full-time but she still comes by to visit. Her life is a total mess right now with the divorce and she's still pretty bitter towards me about it. It's not perfect but I'm just so happy having my son in my life. Holding him for the first time, it made all the struggles worth it. It's definitely overwhelming doing it mostly on my own. But I don't regret how things played out. So thanks for the support and advice. It really helped make a difference when I couldn't see a way out of this without feeling like I was doing something wrong. Well done and congratulations. I definitely wouldn't want my child being raised by that woman. She's bitter at you, even though it's entirely her fault? Is she paying you alimonies? She is paying child support, yes. I've learned to not take any blame that isn't mine to carry, so that makes it easier when she tries to act like everything happening right now is my fault. You sound like you're going to be an amazing dad. Sorry, make that you are an amazing dad. Your little boy is lucky to have you permanently in his life and is going to thrive with you. Good luck for the future. Parenting is a wonderful privilege and is tough at times, but worth every tear and every sleepless night. She literally cheated on her husband without telling you she was married and blamed you for it. Yeah, she is angry at the wrong person. She is projecting her anger onto original poster instead of accepting consequences of her actions. Good for you, original poster. Don't you just love people who do that? If you mean with the pointy end of a broadsword, then yes. Well, yeah, duh. Didn't you know, you're supposed to check IDs, birth certificates, sick background checks, latest medical info and check at least 5 references at your expense of course before any potential human contact. Sheesh. Hold up, on second thought, some of that does sound like it might be a good idea in current year. Then tried to blackmail him by lying again about what her husband said. I'd go for full custody and limited or supervised visitation. It doesn't sound like she cares too much for this kid anyway. Not the butthole. And I bet on the other end she was also guilting the husband behind Op's back too. This comment deserves more upvotes. I'm so happy for you, Op. And yes, this is not your fault. I don't get how people can be so selfish and ruthless and have the audacity to blame someone else for their selfish wrongdoings. She is such a butthole. I do hope that she doesn't come to you and try to get into a relationship with you once she's left with nothing. She sounds horribly toxic. Amazing the gall she has to blame you for the outfall of a situation you didn't even know you were in. You didn't know there was an everything to be destroyed. She did. She knew the risks, Whether she actually took the time to think those through is another story. You wanted to take part in something that was rightfully yours. Sorry, that sounds possessive, but you know what I mean, and as we are talking about a human life, you can't be faulted for that. I'm so glad that you got the chance to talk to the ex-husband and find out the truth regarding the condition situation. I'm so very happy that you were able to find a way to be in your son's life, to be able to gain full custody of him. Being a single parent is hard at times, but you know that he is safe, and he is loved. If she ended up with him, who knows the resentment she would take out on him growing up. I still hope she doesn't blame him as a reason for her marriage falling apart as he gets older. She sounds like the type of woman who will avoid taking responsibility at all costs, no matter where she has to lie the blame. Good job, Dad. You enjoy that little one. Wow, this woman is out of her gourd. I hope you have all her antics documented with your lawyer just in case she tries something in the future. That's a very enlightened position to take. Glad to hear it's all working out for you. Good luck to you and your little guy. Have a good life. You know they say that's the best revenge possible. Will your son have contact with his half-siblings? Since the mom will probably be out of the picture, I think it is not a good idea for his son to have contact with his half-siblings. It is very likely that they would misplace their anger and mistreat the op's son. In many cases, the children will blame the affair baby for their parents' divorce. Plus, their father wants the original poster to be out of the picture as well. Maybe, when all of them, the op's son and his half-siblings, are old enough, they may want to get to know each other. I agree. I, 22 female, have 3 half-brothers I never met and I don't think they know I exist. Heck, I don't know if my bio father ever told his now wife about me. All I know is that I'm happy and healthy. Edit. My bio father and I don't speak the same language and he never paid child support. I asked him about health history, but he never answered. He had 2 chances to meet me when I was younger, but he has declined both times. I liked your post, but I will give you the other side. My bio father left when I was 5, had limited contact for a few years, then nothing until I was in my early 20s. My mother didn't remarry until I was 12, so I knew this father existed. I also knew he didn't pay a dime of child support or alimony. Kids hear things adults think they don't. I sought him out to ask about family health history, his side of the leaving story, and just to get a feel for him. Then I had no contact with him again until 6 years ago, when again I reached out, this time to his brother, to see if he was still alive. He was, and we had about an hour-long conversation, where he told me I have a half-brother. After that we didn't talk again to date. And we never will, as I found out doing genealogy research last week that he died in 2019, as had his last 2 remaining brothers. Now there is no one to answer any of my questions. Who is my half-brother? What is his name? What did our father die of? What was he really like as an older man? I say let the kids and son see each other, know each other. Faults of the parents aren't their faults. True, but when it comes to divorce because of infidelity and how mom is acting, it is very likely the children will act out in anger or misplace the blame on original poster and his son for ruining the marriage. I do agree they should be allowed the option to interact with each other, but not at this moment when emotions are running high or when op's son is still in a vulnerable state. Maybe in the future when everyone has grown up and everything is intense. Plus be aware, even if the siblings do meet, they may not get along. I have half-siblings and real siblings that I never speak to just because of how much we don't like each other. I'm sorry for your loss. I know you didn't really know your bio father, but you still deserved the chance to meet him, if you wanted to. Thank you. I may have a lead on my half-brother through a cousin I didn't know, who just responded to an email I sent him last week. My family is so crossed up. My mother remarried and so I got 2 new cousins, then stepdad's sister married my bio dad's brother, so the 2 newish cousins became double cousins. So weird. I feel for you, man. I too have half-siblings that I will never meet, though I already knew and have met with and grew up actually knowing 2 half-siblings. My sister Shannon, who my father never accepted as his own despite a family resemblance to myself, and my full brother and my half-brother Josh, which up till I was 24 were the only ones that I did know about. It wasn't until I was having a chat with my dad in 2004 that he told me that I actually had 10 brothers and I wasn't the eldest, as I was given to believe. I felt betrayed when he told me. I have so many half-siblings because of my sperm donor. I have never met any of them. Well, I met one when I was younger, but I only met her once. I know they exist, but they don't know me, and my older brother do. You're much younger than me. I applaud your stance on this. I'm in a similar situation, and most of the time I carry on my merry way, but once in a while the who are these people bug creeps in and I become a level 10 internet stalker. I relate to you. Once in a while it creeps up on me too. This is so true. While my ex cheated and then later had a baby with his mistress turned wife, after a 20-year marriage and 3 kids with me that he dumped for the 20-year younger mistress, my kids don't really want anything to do with the love child. They're cordial but try to have dad time without the mistress turned wife nor their love child in the picture. People around you ostracized you for wanting to do this. What are their thoughts now? Congratulations on your son. It sounds like you are well on your way to amazing things. And on the off chance, if, probably when, in the future, she decides that getting together with you would be a good solution to anything, please say no thank you. Or something a bit harsher. But either way, that is absolutely a ride you want to pass on, no matter how much talking she does. She will likely continue to do this. My ex blames all his problems in me. The difference is that I'm in the shoes of her husband. She created this whole mess by being a liar and cheater. At least you get to be a dad to your son now. Hope the two of you have a wonderful life. Never give up any rights, force them to give more. Her mindset baffles me. She lied to you the whole time, but it's your fault? Crazy. I'm so happy for you. I just read the original post and my immediate thought was like, oh no, good dad should ask for full custody from crazy mom with baggage. You seem to want what's best for your kid while she seems to want what's best for herself. Dad of the effing year in my opinion. I'm so happy for you as well. You did such an amazing thing fighting for that boy of yours. He will never feel like he isn't part of a family. I've read too many stories of children of affairs being treated horribly or like not even part of the family. You saved this boy a lot of heartache on that side of the family. He is going to grow up with so much joy and love, it's so wonderful. Crazy how people will do whatever they want and then when the consequences/repercussions show up, it's always someone else's fault. Man, you and her husband both got totally played by this woman. Congratulations on the most beautiful silver lining you could have had, honestly, hoping that woman's husband finds someone better too. He seems like a pretty reasonable guy. Alimony is spousal support, if they were married. I meant child support. Not a native English speaker. Imagine cheating, lying about it to both parties, letting the dude nut in you, and then having the gall to be bitter about when your crafty choices causes trouble for you. True. And it could potentially have led to a bad situation as well, the husband never accepting the child and having him be a bitter reminder of infidelity. And the mother also resenting the child because he reminds her of how she effed up her marriage. In a worst-case scenario this could lead to neglect and abuse. In a milder but still negative scenario this could cause a lot of esteem issues for the kid knowing that he was the result of an affair and never feeling accepted in his family because of that. I'm glad he ended up with you op. Good on you for stepping up. Being a single parent isn't easy, but it's definitely worth it. You know she wanted original poster out of the picture because she 100% planned on lying to the kid and to all her friends and family about who the real father is. I don't blame her ex for leaving one bit. Congrats, Dad. Enjoy. Raising a child is one of life's joys. Sending you best wishes from another dad who isn't with the mother. Thanks, hasn't been easy, my little man makes it worth it though. He's brought so much into my life. One small point, after well done obs, is try to stay on good enough terms with the husband if you can, nothing big but maybe Facebook friends. Your little guy will have questions and deserves to know his siblings when he grows, and I've found being open and having lines of communication open, even if not used, helps a lot. This is an excellent idea. If they do go the FB route, I'd suggest that original poster tells husband that he'll be filtering all baby posts so husband doesn't have to see them, at least for now. I imagine seeing the baby pop up in your feed is going to feel like salt in the wound and lead to that communication line being shut permanently. Yes. And also because no matter what, your son has half siblings. They deserve to know each other when the time is right. Honestly, I've never understood this. Why do they have a right to know each other? My dad was a cheater too and supposedly has another kid out there that's probably about 11 years younger than me. I don't give a crap. If this individual demanded to have contact with me because he or she has a right, I'd laugh in his/her face. I think it's more like they have a right to know each other if that's what they being the kids, not the parents, want. It's totally reasonable that you don't want a relationship with your half-sibling, but if you did and they did, I would hope no one would stand in the way of a potential sibling relationship. It's also a lot more likely if the age gap is smaller. 11 years is a lot. It's not that they would have a right to speak to you, they should be able to try. They wouldn't know if you also wanted a relationship or not unless they tried. That was going to be my suggestion too. Congratulations. You sound like a great dad already. I know the first months are the hardest in terms of lack of sleep since all babies do is sleep, eat, and poop. But it is so worth it. I heard a piece of wisdom that makes so much sense and I pass it on to you. The nights are long but the years are short. Enjoy even those endless sleepless nights. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.